Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do an April TBR of sorts. So I haven't necessarily been the best at TBRs in the past. I tend to start with good intentions and then just kind of go off the rails with whatever I feel like reading. And I feel like right now I am at a place in my life and just reading where I don't know why, but things just feel super chaotic. My bookshelves are overflowing, and like, they always are to an extent, but like, it's kind of out of hand, and I need to get through some of these books or get rid of them. And there's a lot that I do want to read, but I just haven't made them a priority. So this is my attempt to do that and try to also get rid of some that I'm not going to be reading. And I will have another unhaul coming up soon because it is definitely time to unload some of these books that are just staring at me on my bookshelf that I know I'm not going to get to, including ones that I've read that I'm like, yeah, you're never going to read this again. You're never going to recommend it to someone that you're going to want to give to them. So, but that is future Laura's problem. So for now, we will start with books I want to read in April. So the first of these is an arc that I am so excited about, and that is The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. I have actually not much of an idea of what this is about, but I really enjoy Christina Lauren's books. If you don't know, they're an author duo, some best friends named Christina and Lauren, and they do romances. They have written some of my favorite romances, my favorite rom-coms. The Unhoneymooners is one that really sticks out. Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, which might actually be my favorite rom-com ever. So I am super excited to read this. They have written a few more recently that I've been kind of on, but I'm obviously still going to give this a chance, and I'm very excited to get to it. If I'm not mistaken, okay, so the book synopsis is not actually on the book, so I just had to look it up. So this one is about a pair of college students who marry for convenience so that they can get subsidized, like, on-campus housing or something like that for college. And they plan to divorce once college ends. And one of them, the man Liam, he is like an heir to some big company, and in order for him to get his inheritance, he has to be married for 5 years. So they have to stay married, and then I'm gonna guess they actually fall in love. So that, I think, sounds really cute. I don't really know how the flowers and paradise comes into things, but I am definitely looking forward to finding out. I am sure, if nothing else, I will be entertained, even if it's not a new favorite. And yeah, I can't wait to read that. It comes out on May 14th, so I'm excited to make sure I get to it this month. The next book I want to get to is The Ministry of Time by Callian Bradley. Callian? I'm not sure. So this is a book that I'm a little intimidated by, gotta be honest, but I am really looking forward to it. This also is an arc that was sent to me by Avid Reader Press, and this is out on May 7th. So I am really looking forward to this. However, it is out of my comfort zone. It is sort of a like sci-fi comedy of sorts, like dystopian, something like that. And I feel like I could read you the synopsis, but I don't fully understand it, so I just don't know how effective it would be to just read it. But I do looking this up. This is like the top thing. Boy meets a girl. The past meets the future. A finger meets a trigger. The beginning meets the end. England is forever. England must fall. So that is kind of a very cryptic something. Again, I feel like I can't even sort of explain this because I don't know, but I think it's gonna be cool. If nothing, it should be an experience. And definitely look this up if you're a sci-fi reader, because I think maybe you will understand the premise more than I can actually explain it or read it to you. So check that out. But I do think this will be good. I've seen good reviews, so I have my fingers crossed that I am going to love it. Next is Interesting Facts About Space by Emily Austin. This is a book that was a Book of the Month Club pick, I think, in January. And I got it back then, but now it is going to be my book club's pick for the month of April. So I am very excited about that. This one follows a woman named Enid who is obsessed with space, obsessed with true crime podcasts. She basically finds her first serious romantic entanglement, and she then starts to believe that someone is following her. She kind of spirals out of control, and I think it's kind of like one of these adult coming of age situations where she's kind of like, yes, she's an adult, but she's finding herself a little bit like Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. So I loved that book. So I would love it if this one was similar in a way, just kind of a quirky, different kind of woman who is like figuring out who she is in the world and maybe experiencing her first romantic relationship. So I think this is going to be good. I'm excited, and it does seem like there will be some good talking points, hopefully, so book club should be fun, and yeah, looking forward to it. The next book I'm looking forward to reading is You Know What You Did by K.T. Nguyen. This is funny because that is the name of someone I worked with at my very first job when I was in high school at American Eagle, and so I keep being like, is this him? But I actually, yeah, this is a woman, so it's definitely not him, but I still keep, like, every time I look at it, I'm like, wait, what? So this one is a thriller. If you couldn't tell from the cover, like, is that not a patented, like, thriller cover? So this is about a woman named Annie who grew up poor, but now she is doing great. She has a dream job, beautiful household, husband, kids, the whole thing. And her mother dies suddenly. Her mother was a Vietnam War refugee. She dies suddenly one night, and Annie's life starts to kind of unravel. She has obsessive compulsive disorder, and she had it under control, but it kind of starts to come back full force, and she starts fixating on certain things that are just, she sees them starting to come true. And then a prominent art patron disappears, and the investigation zeroes in on Annie. So she starts spiraling with self-doubt, distancing herself from her friends and family, and she finds herself one day waking up in a hotel room next to a dead, naked body with, like, no memory of what happened. So basically, she doesn't have any answers, and this just seems like a lot of fast-paced, thrilling mystery of sorts. I mean, this cover, like I said, it's giving thriller, so I'm excited to read it because it just looks like it's going to be one of those gripping, like, can't put it down types. And I hope there's some, like, really interesting stuff about her mom being a Vietnam War refugee, because I think that would really put a twist on maybe a book that we've seen a similar plot before, but just, you know, a little different and unique. So that should be good. So the next one is Doorman Wanted by Glenn R. Miller. This is a book that I was sent by a PR company to promote this, and I just thought it sounded adorable. So first of all, we, like, love this little doorman, this little bellboy, so cute. So this is about a man who's just living his life until his father dies, and he ends up inheriting a lot of real estate, and including this huge apartment building in New York City. So he likes to, you know, think of himself as a very, like, well-meaning liberal, progressive, so he doesn't know what to do with all this money because he is like, I don't think billionaires should exist, like, same. But when he shows up to get the keys to this, like, new apartment building that he owns, he sees a sign that says Doorman Wanted. So he, like, applies under an alias and ends up working as a doorman in this building that he owns that nobody knows that he owns. And I think what's going to happen based on the synopsis is that he's going to, you know, interact with the residents, interact with the unhoused people that live outside nearby, and kind of realize, like, hey, I don't have to be, like, typical billionaires. Like, I can make the world better with this money I've been left to me, and, like, it doesn't have to be used for evil like most billionaires do. We can be rich and use our money in a good way that changes, in a positive way, things for others. So that's just, like, my vibe, and so I'm always here for a book about that kind of thing. I think this sounds really cute. It seems like it's going to be pretty, like, funny, and it gives me Kevin Wilson vibes, so I'm hoping that it is like his books, because I would love to be able to recommend this to people that I've recommended Kevin Wilson books to before and have liked them. The next book I want to get to in April is A Home for Friendless Women by Kelly E. Hill. So this is a book that's kind of similar to weirdly, several that I feel like I've read in the last year, which is about a home for unwed mothers in the past. So this one actually takes place in the Victorian era in Louisville, and this is just, like, you know, a place where women get sent when they are, you know, can't be seen in public because they're not married and whatnot, while they're pregnant. So we got Ruth, a college student who's expelled after being raped on campus. Belle, a queer sex worker who exchanged her bed at a brothel for one in the home. And Minnie, the daughter of the religious couple who founded the charity, it's her mother's idea of a cautionary tale. So for what I'm getting, Minnie's not pregnant, but she's starting to question the cost of good intentions and trying to make her own choices about the world. So, I mean, I don't know, like, if this is going to be anything exceptionally different from the books that I've read similar to this in the last year or so, but I do think it is an interesting topic, so I'm, like, happy to keep reading about it. And, yeah, we'll see. I think this cover is really cool. This is also, you know, so much, I guess, further in the past than most of the ones that I've read. Most of the books that I've read kind of concerning the similar topic have been like baby scoop era, so like 60s. So yeah, we'll see. The next one is Rainbow Black by Maggie Thrash. This I just kind of was a cover, like, I did get this from the publisher, so I won't say a cover buy, but a cover yes, when I got the offer to get a copy of this for free. So this is about a 13-year-old girl who lives in New Hampshire, and her parents, they're big hippies. They run a rural daycare, and then the satanic panic hits. It's in 1990, and Lacey's parents are handcuffed and hauled off to jail. There's some horrific murder that brings Lacey to the breaking point, so like whatever that means. She makes a ruthless choice that will haunt her for decades, and then she, as an adult, she's just living her life as a normal person, but she makes some little misstep which kind of spirals into an uncontrollable legal disaster. So I don't fully know where it's going to be going, but it sounds like a ride, and I don't know why, but like I think ever since I read Now Is Not the Time to Panic by Kevin Wilson, I like the satanic panic era and that kind of stuff, which just seems so silly in retrospect. Like I like reading about it. So I think this is going to be a pretty good book. Hippie parents, like 13-year-old girl in that world, like this, yeah, I'm excited. I know I have picked out way too many books because I've like already have a pile here. There's more books that I want to have on my TBR for this month, but I can't do that to myself. I need to be whatever. I will show you two more because the rest I think I will let my spirit show me. So the book is over there. I'm not going to go get it, but I have the cover here. The Sicilian Inheritance by Joe Piazza. I think this is going to be awesome. It's such an anticipated book for so many people, so I'm really happy that I got my hands on a copy. So this is about a woman who travels to Sicily after her business and her marriage have failed, and she's inheriting her great aunt Rosie's like property after she passes. She's gotten a deed to a possibly valuable plot of land and a bombshell family secret. So Rosie believed that Sarah's great-grandmother, Serafina, who was left behind while her husband went to America to work, didn't die of illness. She was murdered. So then we go to Sicily, and she's sort of trying to unravel this mystery of what really happened to her great-grandmother, and I think it sounds exciting. I know there is a bit of a dual timeline. I have started just like literally the first like 4 pages, but I love Joe Piazza's writing. I've read 2 of her books before, ones that she co-authored, but they were so good. I loved both, 5 stars. So I am definitely looking forward to reading this, and I think it is definitely going to be a hit for me. I also want to mention that I am currently reading Swan Song by Ellen Hilderbrand. That is coming out June 11th, which is my birthday. I love that my birthday is on a Tuesday this year because like so many books are coming out on my birthday, and I get excited every time I see it. Even though I'm going to be 36, it's still exciting. But yeah, so I am about a third of the way through that. I really like it. I'm just a sucker for her books. They always like totally suck me in, especially the ones that she has in Nantucket. I've loved this series, and this is allegedly the last one, so I'm kind of bummed, but I am trying to savor it a little bit. So that is one I'm currently reading. And the last one I'll mention, which I don't want to get out of my bookshelf because it is back here and it is like second from the bottom. But that is Girls with Bright Futures by Tracy Dobmeyer and Wendy Katzman. This is a reread. This is going to be my reread of the month, and I also have made it my Bar 3 book club book pick. I don't know if I mentioned it on here, but my bar studio that I am a member of and go to and all that, last month we started a book club, and I was the host and I got everything together, and so that was super successful, super fun, really excited, and I picked this for April, and I think it's going to be one that everyone likes, hopefully. And if not, hopefully at least have some good discussion points. This was a 5-star read for me back when I first read it, so stay tuned. Look forward to that reading vlog when I do my reread. But other than that, I think that's enough books for me to get started with and try to get through some of these physical books. It's always just, I finish one and 2 more arrive in the mail. What a hard problem to have, right? I'm so poor me. But anyways, we are going to do it. This is going to be a great reading month, and I am looking forward to getting to all of these. I am looking forward to hearing what you're reading in the month of April. Please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear what you are most looking forward to reading. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I would love it if you would subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!